Drink, Jesus. What's good? How is everybody doing? Can I see the comments, please? I would love to see who's in the room. Virginia Beach is in the house. Louisiana's come on now. Arizona's in the house. What's up? That's home territory. Massachusetts. What's up, Denise? What's up, Jessica? I'm seeing a lot of people. Florida's in the house. Deandra. Hopefully I said that right. Marcia. Great to see you all. Marcia's in Jamaica. I believe we emailed each other a while back. Arkansas is in the house. We got all 50. How many states we got? 51. We got all the states up in here, okay? Y'all came through. We got a lot of Arizona, okay? Alabama. All right, Jersey, Houston, Texas. Thank you for representing. I see Trina in the house, Erica in the house, Sharkia in the house. I'm keep on repeating names, Lord. Brianna's in the house. Essence is in the house. What's up? So I'm so happy that you all are here tonight. We are going to kick this webinar off. If you are here, you're here for a reason. And I'm so excited for that because you're going to get everything that you are looking for. And so we just want to let a couple more people come in the room so we can go ahead and kick this thing off. But thank you again for joining. Thank you. All righty, so let's go. All right, so today we are going to be covering the 3 essential skills all natural hairstylists must learn to attract high-paying clientele and tap into a consistent flow of income. So I just want to welcome you today so you know that if this is something that you're interested in doing, this is what we're going to be covering today. So the big question is, why am I holding this webinar? And the reason why I'm holding this webinar is because there are so many stylists that wish they had the proper training. Proper training, honestly, is very hard to find. And I know that there's a community of stylists that wish they were prepared and they really knew how to do natural hair. But unfortunately, we don't have those options. I know you also want to serve your clientele. Again, the information you see on YouTube or social media, sometimes it's hard to find really credible information and comprehensive training to equip you to be really successful. Cosmetology schools do not, let's be real, y'all, they do not teach natural hairstyling. So unless you need a license in your state, many times going to cosmetology school is not necessarily the best route for you because you're going to school to get a piece of paper, but you're not equipped, So let's get into who this is for. We want to weed out the people this is not for. This is not for everybody, okay? But this is for the stylists who are aspiring, who have always wanted to do natural hair, but perhaps you went the traditional route and went the route that society told you to go, maybe because you were conditioned to believe that being a hairstylist wasn't a worthy career. And I just got to say that was me at one point in time. This is also for you if you want to transition out of corporate America because you realize like this ain't the life, but you really want to pursue your passion. So this is for you. This is also for a stylist who already has clientele, but for whatever reason, you're barely getting by. Maybe you lost your creativity. Maybe you've lost your passion. Something's going on. And so this is for you as well. And this is also for a cosmetologist who has went the conventional route in hair school, but you desire to do natural hair. And the reality is there are so many cosmetologists that are potentially losing clientele, and their clientele is going somewhere where they can do natural hair. And so now, because a lot of clients are going more natural, you may want to cross-train. So this is for you as well. Now, I'm going to say if you tried to be a natural hairstylist and it did not work out the first time, or if you went to graduate school and you put off your dream of being a natural hairstylist and you entered into the corporate world, instead, it's not your fault. There is a lot of misinformation out there and it can be so confusing, but the reality is it's okay. If you went to cosmetology school and you realize that cosmetology school was not inclusive, people, you would have been educated, but they don't teach it. Again, they don't cover the braiding, the locking, the twisting. If you didn't get that from your parent, your mother, or your aunt, or you didn't have a natural gift, where are you gonna learn? So the State Board of Cosmetology has completely ignored the importance of natural hairstyling. I believe if they seen it as something important or worthy, it would be inclusive in their curriculums, but it's not. And honestly, sometimes I feel like, when it comes to state regulations, they have us go through hoops and they have us spend our time and our money and they leave us unprepared. But there's another way. So here's the difference. I know you love natural hairstyling, and I want to provide you with the skills that you need to be confident so that you can execute amazing styles and charge accordingly. So this is what we have for you today. I know you have a desire to pursue your dream, and I want to show you how you can make that happen during this live event. Now, the reality is so many people disqualify themselves because they see these styles on Instagram and Facebook and even in their city, and they look at it and like, I could never do hair like that. But I personally believe, and I know from my own experiences, I've come across stylists that didn't know how to do anything. But because they believed in themselves and they practiced, they are amazing stylists to this day. So I just want to give you a little background on my story. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is Essence China, and that is my real name. I've been doing hair almost all of my life, right? Started doing hair in my parents' laundry room when I was like 15 years old, found out I had a passion to do hair. And one of my first clients was my brother. And so this is an older picture after the fact of my brother, but there was a point in time where he would not allow me to do his hair. He would shampoo his hair and he would go somewhere. Y'all probably seen this story. He would go and pay somebody else to go do his hair. And that crushed me as a aspiring stylist because here it is, I'm his sister. I'm willing to do it for free, right? And because he had a different standard and expectation, he decided to go somewhere else. And so many of you have this passion and you may be feeling the same way like, dang, you know what I mean? And so how do we get you to the place where your family members are beating your door down and say, hey, can you do my hair, right? There was also a point in my journey where clients would bring me hairstyles. Now, this is when I had like full-fledged become like a hairstylist. I hadn't opened my salon yet, but I was braiding out of my apartment and I had it set up, like really set up. Okay. I had my salon chair. I had my products in the back. I had a room dedicated in my apartment just to style hair. And I had clients, they would come into my place of business and they would bring me pictures that I had no clue how to execute. I'm telling you, no clue. And what crushed me the most is that they were so willing and even so trusting for me to be able to do their hair. However, because I operate in integrity, I'm gonna tell them, no, I didn't know how to do their hair. So here it is, I'm watching money walk out the door. Some of y'all might be losing some money right now. So we gotta change that situation. And then, as I told you before, sometimes we can choose the safe route. We can go the direction that may feel like, okay, at least I know I'm gonna get a check, but we're denying ourselves. And so what happened with me is at one point in my career, I went to nursing school. And I went to nursing school because it was the safe thing to do. Now, I'm not knocking nursing school at all, but the reality was it wasn't something that I truly had a heart for. I loved hair, but because I didn't see the future in hair and I didn't know how I would really be successful in hair, it made me go the safe route. But there came a point in my life where I just realized like I'm passing meds and I'm doing these things as a nurse, but I don't feel aligned. You know what I mean? I don't feel centered. I have to go after my dreams. So that's some of my story. So I was still braided out of my apartment. And at that point, I wanted to commit myself to styling hair, but I also knew that I had to take my skills seriously and truly master the foundational techniques of braiding, locking, and twisting in order to be successful. Now, as I told y'all before, I started in my parents' laundry room. So this picture right here is me braiding hair as a young girl. Like y'all see, I'm probably maybe 16, maybe 16 years old. Now this is pager days, but we ain't no cell phones at this point in time, okay? Maybe the government had them, but we didn't have them. So I had a pager, and that was my first business card. I'm not too proud of this business card. You know, it says ghetto fabulous. You know what I'm saying? She do braids like whoa. But this was my start to This was my start in me investing in myself and believing that there's a possibility for me to go far with this. And the picture to the right was when I first opened my salon. This was after I got the law changed. Some of you may know my story. I fought the state board here in the state of Arizona to be able to do hair, natural hair, without a license. And so that was my lawyer to the right of me. And I'm just opening my first official salon, right? So I went from my parents' laundry room to my apartment. And then I was like, you know what? I'd rather bet on me. Some of y'all need to type in the chat right now. I want to bet on me. Who ready to bet on themselves? All right. So in order to bet on you, what do you have to do? You're going to have to master techniques. You're going to have to master, and sometimes we don't like this, but we have to master the basics. And the basics and the foundation of any natural hairstyle is going to be your braids. It's going to be the way that you twist. It's going to be your precision when it comes to parting. And when you get those things down, as simple as they may seem, I'm telling you right now, those combinations, it's going to change your life. Because the reality is there's so many people that they try to be creative, but they haven't mastered the basics. I'm telling you, if you master the basics, the creativity will come. See, the reason why my brother didn't want me to do his hair for free, because he said my straight backs weren't straight. Now, that don't crush somebody's, you know what I'm saying, low self-esteem. So I had to get my straight back straight. And that's a basic, that is a foundational principle. If anybody plays music, you may want to play some Alicia Keys. But if you don't master the basics, they're going to be saying, Alicia, please stop. Okay? So let's master the basics. All right? All right. So let's get to it. 3 foundational skills. There are the techniques that set the foundation to unlimited styles. When you get these things, it changes everything. And once I mastered these techniques, everything changed for me. And this is the reason why we're even here today. It's the reason why you even heard my name. You understand what I'm saying? So let's master these techniques. So when I was able to master these techniques, this is what landed me in Essence Magazine. I also won the natural hairstyling competition in Atlanta over a decade ago. I was able to open 2 salons, okay, here in Phoenix, Arizona, where I was able to provide opportunities for other stylists. Wouldn't you want that to be your story? Because I bet on me. Now you can see me on TV. I'm silly today, y'all. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is when you bet on you and you invest in the foundations and the techniques and you literally put the time and the work in, very much like me, you can build your own plan. You literally can architect what you want to see. And so here it is, my hairstyles on the cover of Essence Magazine. In Essence Magazine, that whole left column are hairstyles from my salon, my signature style at the very top. And then you can see, if you zoom in, you can see Rare Essence Studio, Glendale, Arizona. I was featured in Essence Magazine all because I decided to bet on me. I could have still been walking the halls of the hospitals where I was working, but I chose this ain't for me. And some of you know right now, what you're doing is not really for you. You've been running, you've been hiding from doing hair, but now the answer is here. So it took me years, a decade, to figure out today what I want to show you, which actually is going to provide such a shortcut for you because it's going to teach you the techniques in a way that you've never been necessarily shown or taught before. There are a lot of people that can show you how to braid or how to twist, but the question is it going to give you the result? A lot of people, they come to our trainings. We do live trainings, and they'll come to our trainings and they'll say, I've been twisting for 10 years, but my twists don't look like that. Why is that? Well, there are techniques. And so these are the things I want to help you to accelerate your path by just understanding what your fingers should be doing, how your body should be positioned, all of those things, okay? So why are these 3 natural hairstyling techniques, why do they work? Well, they work because they've been proven, they've been tested, they've been certified. They work because I've been working them. And while I'm being silly, y'all, I'm also being serious. Again, people can get a similar result, but some of the reason why you have to have the right techniques, and you got to hear me when I say this, is because a lot of stylists, they find themselves 5 years into their career and their wrists are hurting. 5 years into their career and their back is out. Like, we have to think about how to do the proper techniques, not just for the end all, but also for the longevity of us as stylists. I did hair for 20 years and I only had issues with my wrist when I was trying to do a technique where I was trying to braid somebody's chin hairs. I mean, it's not. Okay, I'm being silly, but I mean, I was trying to braid really short hair, the equivalent of a chin hair, and so it made my hands twist in such a way that was not conducive for my wrist. And so when I stopped doing that technique, my hands stopped hurting. But there are hairstylists that are braiding regular hair and their hands are hurting. Why? Because they perfected an improper technique. I don't want that to be you, right? And so I want to be able to show you these techniques. And so these are the foundations. You simply can't create precise and creative natural hairstyles without these elements. Also, every natural hairstyle that I'm about to show you are going to rely on these foundations, right? And so my primary goal for you today is that you'll be able to learn these 3 foundational techniques, maybe even find out what you may have been doing wrong, be able to troubleshoot, like, that's why my braids is off. That's why they ain't, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to go over the precision parting. We're going to go over the flawless flat twist. Not just flat twists, but flawless. Okay, where my mannequin head at? You got to see them. And also the beautiful and breathtaking cornrows, braids. So we're going to go over them together, step by step, in real time. Like right here, like right now, right now. So again, as I stated before, every natural hairstyle that is a protective hairstyle is going to include these elements in some way, form, or fashion. And for you to attract clientele, and not just any clientele, because there's different types of clientele. Some people, they want excellence, right? And because they want excellence, they will pay for excellence. And so you want that top tier, high paying clientele, but that top tier, high paying clientele has an expectation, okay? They don't want that free. They don't want them straight backs as diagonal, okay? They want excellence, all right? And so we have to be able to provide that for them. So if you want to create consistent income, I'm talking about, listen, the lifestyle that I live right now, I'm blessed, but it was the consistency of me pouring into myself and doing the work, and therefore it brought me consistent. Come on, somebody say amen this Sunday. And the consistency of the flow of income. So let's master these techniques together. Why is this muy importante? Okay, if you speak Spanish, why is this important? Okay, the reason why it's important is, if you're familiar with the Crown Act is legislation that has opened up the doors for a lot of corporate women to be able to wear their hair naturally. This is huge, y'all. I started doing hair 20, 30 years ago when you couldn't really wear your hair naturally. A lot of hair, like a lot of women, they probably couldn't wear their hair in corporate settings because of discrimination and not being able to elevate in their career. But now, in this day and age, the law has been passed, which opens up the door for more stylists because the pool is larger. There's more clients being able to wear their hair natural. And there's a lot of stylists, we're probably gonna go to the next slide, that, okay, no, on the next one, we're gonna go there. But as you can see, the Crown Act has passed almost nation, like they're going state to state. And so this is huge because it's also allowing a lot of women who wouldn't normally wear their hair natural are now wearing their hair natural. And to top it all off, people are becoming more and more conscious about their health. And I don't know if you all have seen any of these news clippings or reports about how a lot of the chemicals that we're putting on our hair as Black women, right, are affecting our health to the point that it can and has led to cancer. So a lot of women are just like, listen, I don't want that in my hair. I would rather go the natural route. Well, that means there's more opportunity for you. So to top it off, let me get some water. Y'all got me talking so fast. I feel like Speedy Gonzalez. Today's agenda, let me get some water, hold up. We are gonna cover the art of precise parts. The thing's gonna be crispy. And then we're gonna jump into the breathtaking braids. And finally, we're going to learn the steps behind the flawless flat twist. And as a special bonus, I'm going to show you my business blueprint. Now, for those of you, some of you are not necessarily trying to make this a career. Maybe you just want to do this for your children. Maybe you just want to learn this for yourself. But for those of you trying to get a coin, I'm not only going to show you some of the braiding and that side of things, but then also how do you now take these skills and build something from it, similar to what I have built. How do we now get to that level? Because some of y'all ready, okay? But you need the blueprint. And so this is also going to help you to attract high-paying clientele. So just before I get into that, I know y'all ready, but hold up. Just before I get into that, I have a really quick, some house rules. Let's clean house. This training is for people who are willing to invest in themselves. I would not have got here if I didn't invest time, effort, energy, if I didn't believe in myself. Like, there has to be a resoluteness that I'm going to invest in myself. Type that in the chat. I'm going to invest in myself, because there is no progress without investment. At some point, you're going to have to pick something and you're going to have to ride that thing. And I picked hair, I picked braiding, and I rode that thing. I got friends, as a matter of fact, the model that's here today, we went to high school together. She remembers I was braiding her hair in high school over some 25, I don't know, some time ago. You know what I'm saying? I picked braiding, but I didn't just pick braiding. Braiding and natural hair, it chose me. But I said, I'm going to invest in myself. And I see about 10, 15, 20, 30 people saying, I'm going to invest in myself. Because that's what it's going to take. Stop giving up. And y'all about to make me get emotional. Because I really want to see you succeed. I really want to see you make something of yourself. But it only, come on, God, it only happens when we say, I trust the gift that you put in me. I'm going to give it back. I'm going to serve it. Come on now. And I'm not going to serve it on no paper plate. Y'all about to make me get hype. I'm about to serve it on my goodware, my china. All right, let me stop being silly. But seriously, you're going to serve it well. You're going to serve it with excellence, and it's going to serve you back. Come on now. If you can see my house, I praise him for that. Okay, let me go back. All right. Focus, girl. Now, this isn't, we still clean the house. So if you're not willing to invest, go ahead and hit the exit. No, I'm just playing. I love you too. So this is not a quick come up, all right? This is not for somebody that's like, oh, okay, y'all know them people, they got about 1 million hustles. And them 1 million hustles ain't it hasn't taken them anywhere. Why? Because they want to quick come up. So they invest for 3 months, a year, and when it don't pan out, they go and run to something else. No, you got to give it your all. I acted like there was no safety net. If I don't braid, what else I'm doing? There was nothing else competing for the dream in me. And the reality is you can quit your dream, but your dream will never quit you. Some of you've been wanting to do hair since you was 12 years old, and now you're 44, and you're wondering why you feel unfulfilled. And it's because you try to quit your dream, but your dream was like, hold up, baby doll. We got to get back to why we were even, come on now, your gift going to make room for you. But it's not going to be a quick come up. It's going to be because you invest in yourself. And so this is for the people who are passionate. You're passionate about this industry. You're passionate about serving. You're passionate about making a contribution that's significant. Come on now. See, because we don't really understand it's so much bigger than us. You might be a hairstylist and you just think, no, you're touching heads. That's sacred. You're touching lives, who's affecting other lives. Like, it's such a privileged position to be a hairstylist. But y'all, I'm really not trying to preach today. I don't know who is pulling on the anointing. All right, next. So let's get into the practical. Okay, so I got my model right here. I have already started some cornrows on her hair. So we are going to really kind of get into that. And so if I can just bring you on over and just take your time, just gracefully, and we all know why. So pause for the cause. We're about to switch cameras really quick, the angle, so you can see some of the. Am I a hair therapist? Oh, glory. It's just, listen, the call. Hold up, y'all. Okay. Okay. Everybody say, hey, Angie. Hey. Don't wait too much, girls. All right. So as you can see, I've already done some cornrows on her hair. Right here, let me kind of twist. I'm just gonna get into some precision parting. And so one of the things about, sorry, I gotta give me a little sip. All right. So one of the things about the first thing, y'all done got me hype. I can't even halfway focus. Where am I at, Lord? I ain't got no slides no more. I gotta go. They saying hi to you, Edge. Saying hi. All right. So one of the first things about parting is your tools. If your tools are off, your technique is off. Come on now. So I always say you can part with anything. You could part with a fork. Okay. Come on, somebody. A paper clip. You know. But we need efficiency. We need to be able to part. I feel like I want to be in the shot. I'm just so silly. No, but we have to be able to part with efficiency and speed. And so if you want to part with speed and ease, that means you have to have the right utensils, tools. I'm thinking about food. I'm hungry. So if you want to part with, because think about it, as a hairstylist, some of you all are losing money because you're slow. I'm not even trying to knock, but I'm saying speed is one of the key characteristics of a stylist that is high earning, because clients value their time. If you can cut down the time of your hairstyling, it's going to expedite, it's going to increase, okay, the income. Yes or no? Okay. So with that being said, your tool is highly important. And so this is the Rare Essence comb. I stand behind it, not just because it's my comb, but because over 20 years of braiding hair, there were so many techniques, so many tools that I used that were flimsy, they were cheap. It took me forever to part because they weren't durable. Okay? They weren't precise. They weren't sharp enough. They were either too dull or too sharp. Come on now, we don't need it too sharp either. Okay. So you want a durable comb. All right. The second thing is, so that's your tool. When it comes to precision parting, it is about how you hold your comb. I always tell people you want to hold your comb like a pencil. When you think about a person who is an artist has, control over what they're doing. And so when I think about it, I think about a pencil, and it gives me the control when I hold a particular way. So some of you may need to get a comb right now and ask yourself, how do I naturally hold my comb? If you're too far back on the comb, you don't have the control. If you back here, girl, they ain't doing nothing. And if you up here, you ain't got no room. You got to find out what is the most comfortable, but it also allows you control, right? And so how you hold your comb is vitally important. So I did like some Biggie Smalls, just some classic Biggie Smalls in her hair. So I'm just going to part out one of the smaller braids. I do find that a lot of stylists, they have difficulty with their parting. So not just the precision of the part, which speaks to the cleanness of the line, but also to the creativity of the part, the uniformity of the part, right? All of these things matter, okay? So now I'm just gonna probably just do one or two sweep throughs. But as you notice, the angle at which I'm going into her scalp and how I'm just gliding through, and I'm holding this hair taut. Me holding this hair taut actually helps me to see, okay? And so this is really important because as I move through it, I need to make sure that it's even. And if it's not, this is where I go in and I clean it up. Now, there are some other techniques and tools I'm not necessarily going to be able to get in today because of the time, but product aid is really important. What I mean by product aid, you can add products so you can see the line. Now, I would be careful about how much product that you use because you don't want to clog up your client's pores, and depending on the type, how thick that product is, you definitely want to be careful with that. But if you want to be able to see your line, you can add a little bit of product so you can really see the differentiation between one side to the next, right? So all I did in order to follow this part was just find that swoop and keep that same angle because we want that uniformity. But because we're doing biggie smalls, I want to make sure that this braid or this part is significantly thinner, okay, than the part below it, right? So I actually want to go a little bit thinner in order to show that there's a major difference between the large braid and the small braid, okay? So, and a good thing, a good rule of thumb, and this is kind of something that I do, is I will kind of pull and just see, okay, does that part look good? Because when I pull, it already kind of shows me what the braid will look like before I actually get started. Do I like how that's laying? I like that. That looks pretty good. So I spoke about a couple of different things. I spoke about the tool. I spoke about the angle at which you, or the position at which you hold the comb, as well as a couple of tips. Another thing about parting is we're artists. We are telling the hair and the braid where to go, okay? So when you're parting and when you're braiding, it's vitally important that you understand your personal, I don't know if the word is ergonomics. If I'm using the word wrong, y'all forgive me, but y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? But the way in which you're standing, come on now, we're talking about longevity. We're talking about maintaining our health, right? We're doing hair, if you're a hairstylist, all day long, year after year, decade after decade. How are you going to maintain, you know what I'm saying? You think when you're young, when I was 15, 16, 17, in my early 20s, it was not an issue, right? But over time, I had to make sure that I'm standing on the mat. I had to make sure that I'm standing properly. And so your body positioning is huge, okay? So when we're parting, don't make it awkward for you. Make sure that, your client may be in a chair for a couple hours. You're doing this every day. Some stylists, they feel very uncomfortable with asking the client to, position their hair politely, but ask them to kind of position. But you can just ask them, do you mind tilting to the right a little bit? Because you have to make it conducive for the hairstyling that you're doing, right? And so also with parting, when I'm parting from here all the way to here, I can't be over here trying to part up. No, I need to be where the part is. I bring the part to me. Come on. Come to me. Don't ask my neighbor. Okay. You want to bring it to you. Okay. All right. So that's what I did. All right. So that was precision parting, y'all. Okay. That's all I can give you right now. It's about 10 minutes of precision parting. I want to get into the braiding. And we talk about this idea of braid integrity. Somebody type in the chat, braid integrity. What does integrity mean? The idea of integrity is that it's whole. WHOLE. It's one. It is integrated. It's integral. It's quality. Anybody can braid, but everybody don't have braid integrity. I see one braid integrity on the screen. I love you too, Anita. Thank you. She says she loved this teaching. I see about 5 or 6 braid integrities. We don't want to just braid. Our braids need to look integral, okay? And that means it's succinct. I mean, no hair is missing the bus, okay? Every hair is coming in at the right time. And therefore, it just looks so, come on, it's clean. So because of that, this is what distinguishes you from a basic and an average stylist, a basic and an average braider, to somebody who's rare. Come on now, when you're rare, we can't find you every day. There's rocks all over the side of the road, okay? But you ain't one of them. You're rare and therefore you're valuable. And when you're valuable, you get the consistent flow of income. Come on now. Somebody say high-paying clientele. You're set apart. Girl, you about to make me run around this studio. All right, we're going to the braiding. We're going to the braids. I'm being silly, y'all. We got to get through this. All right, so it's getting hot in here. I am silly today. It's because I had a meal. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit of product right now. If you want to know the name of the product, we're going to talk about that later. But we're going to use a little bit of product because we want to get this braid integrity, right? And so this is a very small braid, and we want to make sure. Now, this is one of the things I help stylists understand. Your braid should not start. Okay, this is the part, right? So this is the start of the braid, right? You can see that. But the braid sometimes be starting back here. It'd be like this hair just gathered together on one accord. Okay. But it's like, where's the braid? Why the braid start way back here? What? So we need to get that detail. Come on now. The intention. Come on. Put the camera on my face real quick. Because I got a one-liner that I need y'all to drop in the chat. The precision comes from the intention. When you're intentional about every hair that you pick up, when you're intentional about how you're standing, how your hands, come on now, you got the hand positioning and the body positioning, there's no way that you can't miss that. When you're braiding very small sections of hair, very small braids, you gotta, come on now, the itsy bitsy spider. You gotta, all right. Okay, very small pieces of hair, that's all I'm really trying to say. Okay, cameraman, thank you. All right, so this is, as you notice, this is a very small piece of hair. And so you want to be careful. Now, one of the reasons why a lot of stylists never really are able to excel, because again, they don't have the proper technique and because they're rough. I got, what's it with my Afro puffs? Rough and tough. No. We're here to be graceful. We're gonna gracefully gather the edges. We ain't gonna be slaying them like savages. Like we just, you just want to gracefully. So you want to maintain the integrity of your client's hair. Oh, I got jokes today. So I'm taking my time. I'm moving down the braid slowly, right? And in order to get the detail, y'all hear me, the itsy bitsy spider. I'm picking up the hair at the right time. No hair left behind and no hair jumping on the bus before it's time. This ain't your bus stop. So y'all go get the word, comedy, and some techniques today, okay? All right. So I'm taking my time. We're going to get through this. All right. So gracefully, this is why a lot of your hands hurt, because you're so tense that you're passing the tension from your shoulders into your hands. You're ripping the edges. And your hands are so, because you've been braiding so tense all your life. All right, so we're making sure that we have equal sections of hair all the way through, making sure that our fingers almost never leave the scalp, maintaining the tension, proper tension, but tension, yes. Making sure that we have the anchor. Your finger needs to be anchoring so that braid never gets loose. You ever see braids that are like really, really tight and then they're really, really loose? There are some people that have very loose braids. It's because they don't have enough revolutions within the space of, how do I say this without sounding too technical? In essence, within this space right here, I could have 20 revolutions or I could have 5. If I have 5 revolutions, it means the braid is going to drag. It's going to be very loose. If I have 20 may be too tight and it's all bunched up. But the sweet spot might be 12. You might need 12, okay? So let's take our time, and then we're going to get onto these flat twists. But notice where I'm standing. Notice how my hands are positioned. Do my hands look like there's a lot of tension in them? Do they look all, no. I could do this with my eyes closed. Just to ask you, Angie, how do you feel?
I feel great. It don't hurt. It's not too tight. It's almost comfortable. Like, wow. all this time.
See, and this is what you want. This is what's going to make clients return, okay? And not ask for a return. Well, or a refund. You know what I'm talking about. All right. So this is how you maintain this is how you get the braid integrity. I just mentioned the revolutions. That's key. Okay? All right. So that is braid integrity. All right, now. Thank you. I see, I don't know if that's Chanel. She says they look very relaxed. Come on now. So while you're doing hair, ask yourself, do I feel relaxed in my shoulders? Do I feel relaxed in my arms? Or do I feel tight and tense? This is why some of us have back problems as stylists. No, we need to take care of ourselves. So last technique that we're going to go over real quick is flat twist. Now, these aren't just any type of flat twist. Somebody jump in the chat with me and say flawless. Flawless flat twist. They should lay so flat on the scalp. Come on now. It looked like a cornrow. Like, girl, I love your braids. Oh, these ain't braids. These are twists. You get up on them like, ooh, girl, them things is impeccable. They are flawless. I got about 10 flawless in the chat. They have to be flawless. You can go on Instagram and you can see some people who do them and they look a little dry. They look a little fuzzy. That's not flawless. Flawless is just sleek. It's integral. It has consistency. This is how you want your work to look. You want your work to look uniform and consistent. This is what makes your hairstyles top tier. This is what makes clients knock your door down, because everybody's not mastering the basics. Everybody is not braiding and twisting with intention. When you slow down and really think about every step that you're moving with your fingers, you got to slow it down. Sometimes people just be braid. Listen, I teach hands-on trainings. Sometimes people, I don't even know what they're doing. It's in there and it's tight, but girl, it's not integral. Okay. So let's get on to the flat twist. I'm just going to go ahead and just make a decent sized part right here so you can kind of see the detail. Because if I do it really small, it may be, just a little too much for you to really get into it. All right, and I'm just gonna section this hair off really quickly. Angel, I thank you for being an amazing model today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, so I'm adding a little product. And to be honest with you, I can do this without product and still get a very similar look, but I just want to add a little product just for, product's sake. All right, so flat twist are 2 sections of hair, where a braid is 3 sections of hair, right? And so because it's 2 sections of hair, typically they're not going to lay as flat because there's not enough in, what is the word I want to use? But it's a 3-strand versus a 2-strand, so y'all know what I'm trying to say. So 2-strand typically are more puffier because they don't have that constriction. But if you follow the steps, play your cards right, okay, we're going to win in the end. All right, so because, again, when we're taking very small pieces, we're going to take our time, you know what I mean? And we're not moving down, easing down. We're ease on down the road. We're not moving too fast, okay? Take your time and then speed it up. Master and then get faster. All right. So I'm not going to get too deep into this, but there are different directions. You can go clockwise or counterclockwise. Notice how my fingers, there's always something anchoring. There's never any separation. If one hand is off the head, one hand is on the head. Very important. It's like pass the baton. If the baton don't get passed, then it's not going to work. So you got to make sure that you make contact. Come on, that's a word right there. You got to make contact in order for that baton. I can't even say this right. In order for the baton to get passed, you have to make contact. So as you're passing this hair off, one hand doesn't leave the scalp, come on now, until the next one steps in its place. I'm giving y'all too much. For free? I'm trying to say on me. On my birthday. All right. All right, y'all. So I don't know if you can see this flat twist forming, but it's laying, mind you, a lot of the reason why it's laying really flat as it is right now also too is because I'm still holding tension. So this middle finger is anchor, right? All right. Once I release it, you're gonna still see a level of give. And that's because, again, this is 2 instead of 3. Now, I'm not gonna get all into where you cut, how you cut right now, just for the sake of time. But I want you to be able to see. And I may do another one just so you can kind of see them next to one another. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull out this mannequin head. So you can kind of turn. All right, so these are flat twists on a mannequin head. I don't know for the lighting. But anyway, you notice how they have this nice and the sleekness. They're really nice and close to the scalp. They're not too puffy, not frizzy at all. And I mean, she done had her hair in for about 2 years, y'all. Okay, she preserving this style. But because she ain't went swimming. Okay, but the way that they are is the way that they will be. And so what a lot of stylists, they come to our trainings and they're trying to figure out, why are their flat twists lifting? Well, it's technique, it's hand positioning, it's body positioning, it's all of those things. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Appreciate you. Technically, it was on the 13th, but hey, we still in the month, so we still celebrating. All right, y'all. So where are we at on time? Actually, we ain't gonna be able to do another flat twist, but you see how sleek this is. I don't know if we can get a little zoom. Can we get a zoomy? No, just lean in, lean back. Come on. All right. But I just want you to be able to see that this is a flat twist, but I mean, it's just laying so good, you can barely see the difference between that and the cornrow itself. So it's all about the finger placement. All right. So everybody say thank you to Angie. We'll go ahead and switch it up. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of these things. You're good. All righty. Okay. So I hope that some of these techniques, can we get slides, please? That these techniques that you just seen, I gave you a lot, and there's so much more to give you, to be honest with you. In order to get to the level that you see yourself at, there's a mastery that has to take place. So no, it's not going to happen overnight. This is where I really just spoke to you all about investing in yourself. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the time and the belief that, yeah, my braids might not be the best today. They don't look like the ones on the screen right now, but I believe. Y'all, my cornrows, I mean, there's some hairstyles I look at from 20 years ago, and I'm just like, I thought I was braiding in. But what happened over time was I mastered. And if you're on this webinar to this point, you want to master. I believe it. And so once you perfect these techniques, you will be able to master styles like these. You see this is a flat twist style off to the left. As a matter of fact, the 2 styles on either end are flat twists. One is a mannequin head on the right. Look how clean that hairstyle is. I did that, okay? Perfection. And then the flat twist style off to the left with the real client. And the 2 styles in the middle was a men's cornrow style and this braided up do that actually had added hair. And so, these are all the things that you will be able to master once you drill down on the basics. So you have to go over your parts. Your part have to be precise, especially if you're trying to make this a career. Basics, y'all. Parts. Breathtaking braids, integrity braids full of integrity. It's important. And flawless flat twists. If you master these 3 techniques, then you'll be able to take it up a notch and get creative with it. And after that, there's nothing that you can't do. right? So I want to talk to you about being a wealthy stylist. And I know everybody on here may not want to be a full-time stylist, but this is an opportunity for you to make some income, right? And so I want to talk about that for the stylists who are really looking to not just learn these techniques, but take these techniques and make this into something of profit, turning your passion into profit by serving your community. And so if you want to attract high-paying clientele and create consistent income, I have some what would I want to call them? Some strategies, right? That are important. So let's talk about them. So there is a curriculum, right? And within the Rare Essence curriculum, that's what we're going to pretty much go over. And in the curriculum, hold on, I lost my way. We're gonna get back to it, but we're gonna talk about the products. Now, I know that I use some products today, but we talk about the products that we actually use because yes, it's the techniques, but it's also the products, right? In order to achieve that high level finished product, products are important. We're also going to be talking to you about shampooing, because one of the biggest things about really getting a flawless outcome with a hairstyle is how the hair is prepped. If your preparation is right, the outcome will be right. But a lot of times people don't necessarily know how to prep the hair. And so shampooing obviously is a part of that. And also the detangling process. So we have a techniques module that's included in our curriculum, and we're going to talk about that, which is Braiding 101. So we went over some of the basics of that just now, but there's obviously more that go in that are more in depth. Also, we're going to be going over Braiding 102, a little bit more deeper. This is adding hair. This is getting into more of the intricacy of just braiding itself. We're going to be going over stitch braids and braided updos. So you notice this is a braided updo, but this also incorporates the stitch technique, right? And so again, you're taking one technique and building on another technique to create just these flawless looks. Natural hair styling. So some of that kind of goes into some of the styles that hairstylists or clients may want to wear that are not necessarily just braiding and twisting focused, but we have some natural hair styling in that as well. And then we have the twisting. So we just went over some of the flat twist techniques, but we're going to go from start to bottom and help you build these creative masterpieces that clients are they're willing to pay you for because they're just amazing and everybody can't do them. We also have the locking. So we go over locking as well. Locking is a very big part of the natural hair industry. And a lot of people are starting to wear the locks because they're so easy, right? I've been wearing locks for 20 years and I can't see myself doing anything else with my hair because it's something I don't even have to really think about, right? And so a lot of people are preferring to do locks. And so you can learn that as well. And then locking 102, which gets into a little bit more of the intricacy as well as lock styling. So we also have the creative styling. So that was just the techniques. The techniques is one portion, but then we also have the creative styling. And this is going to help you take the techniques and create masterpieces. Okay, now I know how to braid. Now I know how to twist. Now I know how to part. What do I do with this? Okay, because you're going to get tired of doing straight backs. Straight backs is cool, but now can we go to another level? And so this is where you're going to be able to get more creative. And a lot of stylists, they find themselves having creative blocks. They feel like they're in a rut. They're doing the same hairstyle over and over and over again, which makes them feel like they want to give up. And so your creativity is something to be valued. And so this is something that in this course, you're going to allow your creativity to get reignited because it's going to make you think about hairstyles a different way. So now when a client brings in a hairstyle, like even my signature style that I showed you earlier, you now know how to deconstruct that hairstyle and get to the finished result. Sometimes you can look at a picture and be like, I don't even know where to start, right? So we're going to help you learn where to start. So we have some lock styles. We also have some braided, twisted up. That's a twisted updo style. We also have, this is another lock style with the lock petals, as well as men lock styles. So in the course, we're going over a myriad of different styling so you don't lose any opportunity to make some money. Men's cornrows, okay? Clean too, clean. As well as wedding styles. And this is an opportunity. A lot of women who wear their hair natural don't want the run-of-the-mill, everyday natural hairstyle. They want something that's elegant. How do I now switch it up and make it look like, state of the art? And so we have some wedding styles also in our curriculum. And more braided updos. Okay, so we're going to show you how to actually get the fullness, the body, the volume. And you get access to our master classes. And in our master classes, this is where we actually had, pre-recorded live settings with stylists. So there's a lot of questions that are being asked, a lot of answers that are being provided to make sure that you're able to just glean from everybody, because sometimes people ask a question that you would have asked. And so you're also going to get access to our master classes, which this is kind of, getting into more of the basic side. So sometimes people are like, well, if all I'm really trying to do is more basic stuff, will this course be for me? And the answer is yes. You don't have to be far advanced in order to learn from what we have to offer you. Again, some more of the lock styles, just, things that will really help you step it up. So I spoke a little bit earlier about the mindset, and well, not necessarily the mindset, but the blueprint for business, the blueprint to take your business from your apartment, like I was, or from the where you started at, to where you actually see yourself. Some of you see yourself owning your own salon. Some of you see yourself being self-employed, and you're not necessarily right now. Okay, well, essence, how do I now make the leap that you made from your apartment into a storefront? Well, this is where I want to talk to you about your mindset. In order for you to be the stylist that you see yourself being, your heart and your mind, like all of it has to align. If you're self-defeating and you want something, but everything in you is saying you can't have it, we can't. So now we have to go in and re-engineer the mind. When you believe a thing, you behave a thing. When you believe boldly about your dreams and about where you see yourself going, you start moving different. Come on now. So how do you move different? Your mind has to be different. And so some of you may think, I could never see myself on camera talking and all that other stuff. But listen, I wasn't always as bold. I wasn't always as confident. But what happened was my mind changed. And when my mind changed, my money changed. And I had some change. Okay. I need some water on that one. So what do I need to change about my mind? Well, we're going to talk about that in the Wealthy Stylist module, because in order to be wealthy, you got to think wealthy. You got to start thinking about the habits of your mind. You should be refereeing every thought. No thought that is disempowering should even pass go. It shouldn't even collect $200. But we're going to talk about that later. Momentum. Some of you don't know how to get started. Momentum is, how do I get started and maintain that momentum to where I don't give up on yourself? Somebody right now is so ready to give up. Some of you are just like, man, I done tried this for so long. I'm over it. No. You're here because this is the answer. And this is not being conceited or anything like that. It's just because I know my assignment, if that makes sense. And I know that there is a group of people that are assigned to what it is that I have to do. In the same way, there's a group of people that are waiting on you to say yes to what God placed in you. Now, if that don't preach. So how do you get the momentum? How do you get started, and how do you keep going? How do you stay motivated? All right, yeah, see, I'm gonna keep it moving, y'all. All right, money. We got to talk about that. Some of us have bad money habits. We have a bad money blueprint. We've seen how our parents maybe have spent, living paycheck to paycheck. We feel that we need to go buy all of these clothes, and we got to dress for somebody else. And listen, true story. I had a salon, a storefront. I got in a car accident, and I just caught the bus. I could have went and rented a car. I could have listen, but because I understood that there's no success without sacrifice, I decided to wait. Wisdom will tell you to wait. And if you don't have a good money blueprint, you're going to be defeating yourself. You're going to be thinking you're getting ahead. You're spending 10 hours doing hair, standing behind a chair. And then by the end of the week, you don't understand where your money went. It's because your money habits are off. Next. Because okay. Well, Money, momentum. My slides, I don't know where they at right now, y'all, so hold fast. Mindset, momentum, money. The next thing is marketing. Your marketing is vitally important. Many of you are fearful to market yourself. If you're fearful to market yourself, how will anybody ever find you? I'm from Glendale, Arizona, y'all. How else did you find me? I have boldness enough to believe in myself enough to behave boldly enough to put myself out there. If you're fearful of posting one of your hairstyles because you don't know if it's going to get enough likes, how will you ever get there? So there's principles concerning marketing as well as the confidence to put yourself out there that are vitally important. I didn't get here by hiding somewhere trying to braid hair and be like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to post my stuff on social media. Imagine my hairstyle went viral, right? Now, this was the best marketing I could have never paid for. And this was right when Instagram was blowing up. I'm talking about, this is 2011, my hairstyle went viral. So we're talking 12 years ago. And everybody was posting my hairstyle all in people's salons and on the cover of, you know what I'm saying, people's flyers and all types of stuff. Nobody knew who did the hairstyle, right? It was marketing, but it wasn't marketing that I even paid for. But I had to live up to the celebrity of my hairstyle. And the only way I did that was to learn how to market myself. And some of you have to learn how to market yourself, right? So marketing is key. And the last one, so we got mindset, we got money, we got mindset, we got momentum, we got money, we got marketing, and then we have management. If you don't know how to manage business, some of you have to understand that you can't be a pushover in business. Some of you are just trying to appease everybody, so you don't know how to raise your prices, you don't know how to manage your clientele. This is an issue. And so I want to help you with all of these dynamics, so when you get all of these ducks lined up in a row, you're going to be able to successfully build your business. Some of you, if you don't have these things in place, you're bending to the approval of other people. And so we have to get these things in play. What's going on with that? So really quick, hold on, y'all. Because my slide, I don't know where my slides is at. Hold fast. Yeah, 1 second, y'all. But let's talk about those things. Let's talk about those things that are really, listen, somebody put in the chat, you're talking to me again. No, I'm talking to you because I'm talking to my former self. I know what I needed. I know what I needed when I was at your stage, when I was still braiding hair out of my apartment, and I knew this is something I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to break out. I was afraid. I wasn't confident, not to this degree. And so all of us, we have to invest in ourselves in every level and every layer. Because if we think that being a hairstylist and being a successful hairstylist is just the techniques, we're fooling ourselves. Because you can be the best hairstylist on the block and still never go nowhere because your attitude is off. Because you're late. Because you make excuses and your clientele is tired of that. And so when we understand all of the elements and the principles, what is going to make you a wealthy stylist, that's when the game changes. That's when the game changes. So I want to teach you that, right? Real quick while we get the slides up. And like I said, it's easy for me to talk to you because I'm talking to myself. Ain't nobody in the room here with me. It's 300 of y'all, 400 of y'all right now. I'm talking to, I can speak so fluently about this because of my own journey. I remember when I was charging $5, y'all. We talking about it's the 90s, right? $5 for some cornrows. And my father came home one day and he was just like, how long did that take you? You charge $5? And he was, in my mind, I'm a beginner. I'm a teenager. Listen, all I'm really trying to do is get a chicken sandwich at Wendy's. Like $5, I'm straight. I make $5 a day. We winning, right? And my father was like, if you only knew your value. And that's what I'm going to say to you. If you only knew your value. So while you all see me talking to you as far as being a hairstylist, you also have to be very aware, self-aware about what your gifts are. One of my gifts is to speak. I didn't know that when I was behind the chair. That's something that had to be developed, right? And so some of you have all of these talents and abilities, and you're very creative because most stylists are very creative. There's a million things that you can do, right? But if you don't choose one, how will you ever see the advancement and the acceleration? I chose one. And so if you're finding yourself just like all over the place, and this is what happens. This is what happens. So I'm waiting for these slides to come back, y'all, because I really want to wrap this up real strong for y'all. But if this is your first time hearing about me, let me know. Just pop in the chat, or if you've been following my academy, Rare Essence Academy, for a while, pop in the chat. I definitely want to get to some questions towards the end. But again, I created something that I wish I had when I was a stylist. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, there was nobody teaching these things. Either if you like, if you know, you ever hear, if you know, you know. Well, if you knew, you knew, and if you didn't know, you better. There was nowhere. There was internet was not readily available. Come on now, dial up wasn't even. I'm telling you, I had a pager. So where was I going to learn? Now we're in a day and age where we can learn virtually from anywhere, from anybody. I have students from all the way in Japan, in Cameroon. Why? Because they see the value of investing in themselves, and they really want to get it right. And they really not just want to make sure they have the right product, but they also want to make sure that they're taking care of their bodies well, right? I said something earlier for a reason. I was about to go somewhere with it, but y'all type in the chat and talk to me about whatever it is that you may be dealing with as a stylist. If I can see the chat in the comments real quick. Can I get the comments? Thank you. First time. Well, welcome. Thank you for being on this live with me. As like I said, y'all, I've been doing this for a very long time. I never knew that it would get here, and some of you don't even know the possibilities of you betting on yourself, the possibility of you believing in the get. Come on now, this is what when I talked about you can quit the dream and the dream won't quit you, is because there's a burning desire that I believe is God given. That if we walk away from it, we're walking away from our core and our center. Right. And so again, if you're on this live still to this moment, it's really because like it's a gift, and it's a burning desire, and you want it. You can't just expect to have a gift and not nurture it and it pay you back. No, but when you serve it, it does pay you back. When you serve it well, it does pay you back. And I talk with such conviction because I've lived it. This is no hype. This is no fluff. Listen, if there was one person on the live right now, I'll be talking the same way because this is what I believe. This is what I live, right? And so I want you to get the same conviction about yourself. Why am I here? What gifts do I have? Even if, see, this is the thing. When we get into comparison and we look at other people's hairstyles and we think to ourselves, oh, well, my hairstyles aren't like that. And then we get self-defeated. Again, if you have defeated mental activity, if you have defeated thoughts and beliefs, your moves, okay? Your moves are going to be defeated. When your mind is off, your moves are off. When your mind, let's go here. When your mind is off, your mood, MOOD, is off. When your mood is off, think about it. Anytime when something ain't going right for you, your energy is bad, then you don't even feel like doing nothing. This is why it's so important that not only do you believe in yourself, but that you surround yourself around people that are going to be speaking life to you. One of my superpowers is to speak life. I don't know where I got it from. And so also in our community, you know what I'm saying, there are the group calls that you can jump in on where you just need some encouragement, because a lot of you stylists don't even probably know any other stylists, or maybe you feel like other stylists may be jealous of you or whatever the case may be, and you don't have that community. We need community. We need community. Y'all ready? I love y'all. Thank you again for sticking with me. So we already went over money and management, so we can go to the probably two more after. Finally, we back, yeah, we back. We went over marketing. We got to put ourselves out there boldly. We got to believe in ourselves boldly. And we just got to come on now, because there are people waiting on you to show up. I know that for a fact. Somebody's waiting on you to show up and your authenticity. I can't wait till I get to this coaching, y'all, because I'm hyped. All right, let's pass the management. All right, so you're also going to get the Wealthy Stylist workbook. Now, this is a digital blueprint, which is going to help you go through all of the steps. Now, I don't want to just give you the information. I want to hold you accountable to all the things that you need to do in order for you to actually get to where you need to go. And so a lot of stylists, I don't want you to just go through the course. I want you to go through it and actually do the work, right? Because that's the only way you're going to see the growth. So I'm offering to you my whole training, y'all. My whole training for $490. Listen, I told my team, I was like, y'all, I mean, how low can you go? $497, y'all. We got styles on styles on styles on deck for $497. Yes, brother Martin, please and thanks. Next. So the question may be, what tools will I need to get started? In order to get started, you are going to need a family member or a friend who will allow you to experiment on it. Not experiment, let me not say that. To practice, to master your craft on their head, and or a mannequin head. You need an Afro Kinky mannequin head, and you can get one of them on Amazon, and you need just the willingness to practice. I always say, if you have the passion, you have the potential. I don't care what your braids look like today. I'm telling you, I done hired stylists that came in and they couldn't even form a braid. Okay, no lie, they couldn't even form a braid, and now they're amazing stylists. So you just need a comb and you just need a mannequin head. You can order everything else as you go. When I got started, all I had was some Blue Magic. That was the only grease that was before Shea Moisture. Listen, some Blue Magic and a comb. Okay, so that's what you need to get started. Do I already have to be a hairstylist in order to enter into this course? No, you do not. This course is for anybody who has the passion. Again, if you have the passion, you have the potential. So no, you do not need to be a hairstylist in order to get started. How much time will I need to practice? I say the more time you put in, the faster you're going to see the improvement. It's about the hours, right? You always hear it takes 10,000 hours to master a thing. Well, I've been doing hair for decades, right? And so that's where I got to that mastery. And so I would say you need at least a couple of hours a week to put into this craft to actually start to see some improvement. What can I charge once I master and perfect these styles? Well, I will say the average ticket on all of the styles in the course is somewhere around $85, $95. So once you master a style and you go and execute that on a client, depending on your level of proficiency and excellence is going to determine how much, but give or take, it's like right around $85, $95. Will I get a certificate? We always get this question. And at one point in time, we didn't, but now we have implemented something to where if you, or when you, let's talk positive now, when you successfully complete styles out of the course and we're able to know and verify that you actually completed these styles, we will be offering certificates to make sure that you all are, progressing the way that you need to progress. So the answer is yes, if you choose to. How do I join Rare Essence Academy? That's a great question. So it's available. This offer is available for the next 24 hours. All you have to do is click the link in the chat. It's right there at the bottom right now, and get into this. We're offering this, like I said, at a super low rate, only because I want to make sure that every hairstylist depending on where they're at financially, that everybody can invest, right? And so we're making this available for the next 24 hours. Again, it's $497, y'all. And so I just want to review the curriculum one more time, just so if you just lost connection or you just jumped on, I want to talk to you about what we're offering. We're going to give you access to the products that we use, as well as the preparation, the shampooing, the blow drying, the detangling. And then we get into the techniques where we go over the braids, the locks, the twist, the adding of hair, the natural hairstyling, the twisting, the locking, pretty much everything that is going to make you a comprehensive natural hairstylist. And some of you may want to specialize, which I do feel like specialization is very important. So you're not just a natural hairstylist, but this is my specialty. And if that's the case, you can pick one and just hone in on that. And then we get back into the creative hairstyling, where we're going to get into the updos, the braided updos, the men's braid styles, the lock styles. So all of these styles that you see on the screen, and if you really think about what I went over earlier today, it was really just that precision parting. You see these styles and you think to yourself, okay, but there's a lot of things going on right there. But I'm telling you, once you master these basics, we can get into that creativity, and you're gonna master it. I already know. Because no child is going to be left behind. No stylist is going to be left behind. And then you're going to get the master classes. You're going to get these live, pre-recorded live, where we were actually speaking to stylists and helping them work through how to execute these techniques and styles. So we got the lock styling, and the men's lock styling, and the women's lock styling. And then again, we get into that mindset. Now, y'all know I talk for a good 30 minutes helping you understand how important it is to have the right mindset, how to build the momentum, how to get your money right, not just how you make it, but how you spend it, how to get into marketing yourself, i.e. putting yourself out there, right? I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I see stylists struggle with, as well as the management. If you can't manage your business like a professional, people are going to run over you. And some of you are dealing with that now. You don't know how to draw the line. You don't know that or how to enforce policy. You are a business, but nobody will respect you as a business until you act like a business, right? And so I'm going to talk to you about all those things. So this is a bonus in what we're offering today. Not only are you going to get the online creative styling course with the techniques, but you're also going to get the masterclass. And then you're also going to get the Wealthy Stylist course, which is a 5-module course that's going over all these principles, along with the workbook. Come on now. Yeah, I'm throwing you the playbook. If this ain't the play, I don't know what to tell you. And then I think that might be all. So if you all just make sure that you click the link down in the chat right there in order to get started. We do have a 2-pay offer, I believe. And was that the end of the slides? Well, I guess so. And if that is it, that is it. So what are the dates for those of us that want in-person option, please? We have an in-person 3-day training coming up soon. It's actually going to be a retreat here in Arizona, and it's September 9th through the 11th, I think. I don't have all that information, but we'll send out an email blast for that. Candy, don't worry about it. You can watch the replay, love. So click the link in the chat in order to go ahead and get started today. And I will see you in the training. And then you'll also be added to a Facebook group where you can post your hairstyles and get encouragement from other hairstyles. I think that's vitally important. Before you start posting your work on a public platform open to any and everybody, sometimes it's just easier to be in a supportive community where you can start to post your work and get feedback and really get better before you start posting it out in the public. And that's huge. So the payment plan, I believe that they'll be posting a link for that. So when you click on the link, I believe that the payment plan information is in that link. You enjoy watching the class. Thank you, Anita. I enjoy being here with y'all. I truly enjoy being here with y'all. So I just want to tell you all, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you, Gwendol Ellis. I'm so grateful to be able to utilize my gift and to just pour into each one of you all. And just remember, like, and I'm not saying this just for no hype. Like, I really was just like you. Like, I really didn't know if my hairstyles was going to get better. But I just kept doing it. I just, again, there was nothing else competing for what my dream and what was in me, you know. Though I like to do other things. Like, this is just what I chose and what chose me. And so I just believe that if you're here, it's for you. No hype. Thank you, Dinah. Thank you, Nyla, CEO. Thank you, Debrisha. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Tanika. You're welcome, Tam. I'm grateful for y'all. Y'all have an amazing, amazing night. Click the link, and I will see y'all soon. Thank you, TT. You spending your 497. You're welcome, Marcia. Good to see you, love.